I'm Kelly.
And I'm Caitlin. That twirl is hard to come off of.
It's Cooking with Caitlin, 30 and 30, and today we're making homemade biscuits, our Aunt Norma's homemade biscuit recipe. Caitlin, go.
So this was one of the first recipes I mastered from Aunt Norma's cookbook. She is our great aunt who had a cooking show in the 50s, early 50s, late 40s, and she called them melt in your mouth biscuits. When I first started, I had no idea that I would be feeding my children biscuits almost every other day at my house or making them sweet or savory. So this is a recipe. I know it's delicious. I do it all the time, and I have done lots of different ingredients. So let me just start. The recipe is down below with all the details, teaspoons, tablespoons, cups, but super easy. But for the fact, it calls for shortening, I believe. But my personal favorite is to use butter-flavored shortening. It's right next to the shortening in the grocery store aisle. You can't go wrong. I've also used bacon fat, lard, butter. I'm trying to think other things. Those are pretty much the main go-tos. But I feel like the tricky thing is how do you incorporate it all together? So your dry ingredients are in the bowl, and then I like to do this, just a little thumb flick, because you're not I know it sounds ridiculous. Thank
Thumb
you.
flick.
The shortening is warm, and so the whole thought process, usually like when you make a pie dough or something like that, is to add chilled butter to the dry ingredients, and then it doesn't melt, it holds its shape, then you have layers of flavor. But because you're using shortening and it's already at room temperature, you just need a little thumb flick. Insert hands. Thank you. So other ways that I've played with it, sweet or savory, you could add cinnamon or more sugar to the dry ingredients. For the savory applications, I've added tons of fresh herbs, shredded cheese. When you bake it, you can top it with honey mustard, and then that is a ridiculous sandwich.
You can omit it with sugar altogether, correct?
Yeah, I like to add the
Even
sugar.
for savory ones?
I've never completely omitted it.
Oh, really?
If you did omit, it's not enough sugar to make
Got it.
natural. The recipe in and of itself is not sweet. It's just a blank canvas. But the sugar helps give caramelization, that golden brown color. It's cooking. Okay, here is what the shortening looks like. Can you see? Look at that thumb. Okay, then for the recipe just calls for whole milk. I have played, this is buttermilk. I like the tang. You can use heavy cream. I've used even skim milk. I like the heavier fat content because I just think it makes for a richer biscuit. And then I use a spoon for this part. And the recipe calls for 2/3 cup of liquid, whatever you have on hand. I just slowly add it until the dough comes together. The more liquid you add, the longer it will take to cook in the long run. So while I am stirring and slowly adding the wet.
So you don't actually measure it. You eyeball the dough.
Yes.
Got it.
But I would start with the recipe. Start
2/3,
slow.
and then once you're making it every other day for your family, then you can eyeball the dough.
Okay, Kelly.
Work on your flick. Work on your flick to
You're gonna
start.
get great
Are we going to
hand
talk about how? Oh, are you going to show us your hand muscles?
muscles. Nope.
Beefy, Caitlin's cousin to Popeye.
In the hands.
In the hands. In the hands. Okay, so can I talk about all the ways to use it?
Sure, can you actually get the finished product out of the oven? You can be the hero. Okay, so then once the dough comes together, you just roll it out of the bowl, just like that. Press it into a large circle. I don't even use a rolling pin because I just feel like that's excessive. And then I use a cookie cutter and cut them into rounds. One of the biggest things that I've learned that I truly think makes a difference is when you cut, do not twist. Just go down, come up, and then put them on a cookie sheet. So, oh, Kelly is sauntering. I'm sorry, it's gonna take a while for her to get here.
And another twist. Here I am.
That's a lot.
Is it time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or are you going to
No,
show
I'm
how
done.
to cut it?
You can use, so when I first didn't invest in good cookie cutters, I used baby bottles. So whatever you have on hand.
To
There you
cut
go.
to size.
Yep,
Oh,
approximately
I gotta work it. I
8
gotta work it.
per that. There you go. Nailed it.
I'm gonna pick up one.
Okay.
These are savory. These are just the good old-fashioned original ones. I'm gonna do like they do on home shopping shows and show you. Look at the crumb on that. And the crowd goes wild.
Except it's not
Oh
even on
no,
track.
son of a gun. Here we go. I'm gonna do it again.
Okay. Smear with apple butter. We love apple jelly at our household. Any kind of jam, honey, butter. It's delicious. Can't go wrong.
Good job. Good job.
Also, this recipe is great if you want to use it to top your cobblers in the. Thank you. To top your cobblers in the summer.
Sweet and savory cobblers. Caitlin's actually done a roasted tomato cobbler.
And then added basil to the dough.
That's right.
A delicious appetizer.
You could do it with the grapes.
Oh, good.
You could do
grapes.
Yep, the roasted chicken that we taught you.
Chicken and dumplings, right
Chicken
there.
Boom. I've been instructed not to say boom anymore, but boom.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for tuning in to Cooking with Caitlin.
Biscuit boom.
We have lots more recipes coming up. Stay tuned.
For the rest of 30 and 30, signing off. Have a great day.
Oh, can you press the stop?
Oh yeah, stop.